It was pretty good, because even though I was carrying an injury all throughout the season, I was able to do the season quite well. Asian Championships went really good, and also even though towards the end of the season I was able to put up a good show at the Asian Games also. Overall, it was good, but a bit disappointed because of the World Championship. I was in really good shape, but I couldn't perform as I wanted because I couldn't even enter the final. So that was a big disappointment for me in 2023. But uh, considering the other competitions, the performance was fairly consistent, and I'm pretty happy about it. And it will help me like boost my confidence towards the Olympic season as well. Biggest high obviously would be I was able to do like two jumps over my like close to my PB, so like 841, 837, and couple of good jumps. Also, like couple of good jumps in the other competitions of the 829 in national championship. So that was a high part, and low. I would say it will definitely be the world championship difficult because I won't say it as a low, but it was like a big learning experience for me, like big learning curve. Like I was repeatedly making this that mistake over and over again with respect to my approaches, and I don't know why, but that day my muscles got really stiffened up, and I was not able to run the approach well. So it was a real bad day for me, but I would certainly learn from that experience. And what matters most is next year's Olympics. So I'm sure that would help me there. Obviously, the aim was for gold, but unfortunately, we have to settle for silver in both the cases, like for 3 centimeters. So the strategy was to execute the right approach and get the good jump. So at the Asian Championship, the last jump was really good. I was able to get the flow throughout and execute that good jump in spite of the weather being very terrible there. You were also there, so like the weather was like very hot
Yeah.
and humid. So the conditions were not as ideal, but in spite of that, I was able to pull out a good jump at the very end of the competition. So it was a nice event there at the Asian Championship. The jumper from the athlete from the Chinese side, he did 840 as well. So if you are chasing a big jump, then obviously we just go all out every single time. So the last jump it clicked and I was able to get 837. I obviously thought it was farther than 840, but it was 837. And the Asian Games also, it was a season-ending competition, so I just wanted to end the season in a very good way. I was carrying the knee injury for like some time, so I wasn't sure how my knee would respond because I had to jump the qualifying round and the finals in 2 consecutive days. So and also like there also I was able to do quite good, but like after the good jump I had in the fourth round, like my knee wasn't supporting that much, so I was not able to in like improve upon the 819 distance, but nonetheless happy with silvers in the both. And like yeah, winning silver like in both Asian champs and Asian games was really good, so hopefully next time we'll change the color of the medal. See, like jump wise, it was 809, but if you see the overall result of that competition, it was like I think Tentoglu won in 813, Simon did 811, and myself did 809. The weather was like it was good, but the wind was like we had headwinds throughout the competition. So adjusting with the conditions at the particular day of the competition is one key adjustment which we learned this season because we have been competing regularly. I competed in US, I've competed in Europe, I've competed in Asia. Like I've been switching from continents to continents competing. So different type of climatic conditions. In interstate also we had hot and humid conditions. At the Diamond League at Paris, it was windy, but the temperature was good. The two Diamond Leagues in Switzerland was really cold, and in Lausanne there was slight drizzling as well. So, considering all these factors, I think like adjusting to the weather condition was a key factor for me for this year, because we can't predict how the weather will be in that particular competition. And when we start competing, it's all about winning and how who takes the one, two, three places. So it's all about adjusting to the conditions. So I think I was like able to like adjust to that kind of stimulus of the competition quite well this season. So that was the main key for me this season. It was just about accepting the fact that I didn't qualify because like next week I had the Diamond League event in Zurich. So instead of just being disappointed and going back. I just wanted to like just get back into the groove and do the Diamond League even in Zurich. And it I was placed fifth there. I think 799. Pretty fair enough to leave Europe and go back home. But that experience was really good because I knew where I was lacking, because when I was doing the qualifying round at the World Champs, I was jumping towards the last spot, like towards last in the order. So the kind of warm up strategies which I needed to plan and everything, I just got a very good understanding of how things have to be planned. Because when I did the World Champs in Eugene, I was jumping in the earlier stages, so I didn't have to do like a huge warm up in between also to get warmed up. But this time I was jumping towards the end in the order, so I need to do the double warm up, and my muscles got tightened up then, and I was not able to execute the jumps properly. So that was a big learning experience. What if something happens for next year's Olympics? So now I know like how to adjust to the jumping orders and get adjusted to the rhythm and everything. So I ideally it should really help me out. It's really good. He's an amazing jumper. He's a clutch performer, just like Neeraj Bhaiya. Because they have both of them have like similar magnitude of achievements in a very young age. They have like achieved everything in athletics now. And Miltos is a very nice guy in the circuit to be with. And we have our team has got a good bonding with him, with his coach also. So he's a really amazing guy, and we talk to each other during the competition. We like support each other, motivate each other a lot during the competition. He's a really nice guy. There are certain aspects which we are focusing upon in 2024 technically, which we couldn't focus last season because of the injury I sustained at the national games, and I was not able to execute the technical trainings right. So I we this time I've done the rehab and the strength work for my knee injury at Inspire Institute of Sport during my off season. So I took a very small break from last season, after the last season, and immediately got back to my rehab and treatment for my knee. So ideally, hopefully, I think this season should really be good because we have been we have planned a good amount of strategies for the training program this season, so that I'm totally prepared for the Olympic year. Last season it was a bit the training wise it wasn't as expected for me because I had a hamstring strain, and it took me a while to get back after the injury I sustained at the 2022 national games. So 2023 season was all about getting back to track, like back to getting physical fitness. And once the competition season started, I had constant niggle with the knee injury, and I have to manage the training conservatively. So I was not able to do any kind of jumps training properly. It was like weekly one session jumps, like two or three jumps every single week, and then competition, taking rest 10 days after the competition. So I was not able to do jump session at all. No technique session. It was just about getting the speed, and all my jumps were like basically speed based jumps. So this time we focused more towards the getting the right kind of training during the off season, preparatory season, and to stay injury free during the competitive season would be the main focus. Whenever I go for any international competitions, whether it be Diamond League or World Championship, I get to meet with a lot of great jumpers like Ivan Petroso, White Phillips, and we are always open to hear any kind of suggestion they give. So whatever they speak, whatever they talk, it will be like a holy verse coming out of their mouth for me, because those are the jumpers I always look up to and I've been looking up to as a kid. So whatever they seek, whatever advice they give me, whatever suggestions they give me in terms of technique or training or discipline or mindset, I just try to grasp it as much as possible, because those ones are the great. So it's always great talking to them also. Uh, right now, I'm currently training with my dad only at my hometown, and once the season starts, we then probably more. Then we'll definitely move out to Europe. So until then, most probably we'll be based in India only. So for the time being, I prefer to train with my dad, because like that's something which has clicked for me, and I'm getting results every season. So I kind of stick on with my dad only. It was just about the strategies and the approach, getting the approach right. Because for a long jumper, the run approach is everything. So if we need to get the approach right, what all factors I need to improve in terms of my running technique, in terms of the last phase of the approach. So I was having trouble in the getting the rhythm right in the approach, and also usually I used to like escape from that kind of trouble because my body always, whenever I'm competing, I used to have this issue every time I'm competing. But because of the top physical condition I'm in, I'm able to like escape from that sort of errors. But this time, since the cramping of my muscles got so intense that I was not able to really get through that phase. That's the issue that happened at Worlds. But like that thing we sorted out at the Diamond League itself, the next Diamond League at Zurich, and then it was just fine tuning for the Asian Games that mattered. And the jump which I had there was really good also. It's really good because you know like two Indians are in the top five in the world ranking. It's not a very usual thing that we find every year. So there is a very healthy competition that's happening in India also. So that would really rise the standard. Like I always used to tell, like that will always rise the kind of standards which both of myself and Justin will bring into the event, and also it will also push the jumpers in our country to perform at their best. And similarly, we had like a lot of 8 meter plus jumpers last the season also. A lot of them have jumped 8 meters in domestic. So Lokesh has jumped, Anis has jumped, and David Elekian has jumped. Like so, we have like 6, 7 jumpers who are in that 8 meter caliber, and two of us performing in really in the international stage also. So that would really help the Indian athletics grow in terms of the horizontal jumps. Now, I think the athletes tend to focus on mainly their primary event, and we can't compare Carl Lewis to anyone else because Carl Lewis is a once in a generation athlete. He's a legendary athlete. We can't compare the likes of Carl Lewis with anyone else because running in 9.7 in the 100 meters and jumping 8.90 in the long jump is not a joke. So Carl Lewis is like once in a lifetime athlete, you could say. And I think now most of the athletes tend to prefer only focusing on like their core event, their main focus event, because the competition has been very tough. And the preparation wise also, there have been a lot of changes in the events. Like if you're a sprinter and if you're a jumper line, you do both of them together. Like there are a lot of things, a lot of difference in the training also. Obviously, the core aspect of every long jumper is the speed in the approach. Like if you want to be a good long jumper, you have to be a good sprinter also. But like the training all over the world has become more event specific, and so I think that's one reason why athletes always tend to prefer to their core or their favorite event rather than choosing like two events. That's what like my main priority will be to stay injury free during the competition season, as less as niggles as possible, and then have good recovery and good proper mindset and execute all the competitions. So result will come on its own. So that's the main focus.